Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode inside the latest Insight podcast. So, my name is Elizabeth Finocchiaro. For those who might be listening for the first time or just wondering, who is this a little bit more, I am a breathworker and a guide helping people really listening to their own body, their own breath, and moving in their own pace. This is really what I'm all about. I'm not about putting a technique or a method over the reality of your body. So I have been in this space for many years with courses, with online, and now also even with the training. And yeah, I love teaching, I love guiding. And I really feel like the combination of the both is so important to be able to teach and prime the mind and the body through storytelling, through teachings, and also being able to go into the body and do the embodiment work and feel safe in the embodiment work. So welcome to my world. If this is the first time you're watching or listening, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope there's something in this podcast that serves you, that inspires you, or changes a soft perspective in your life. So we'll start by just having a little connection to the breath, a little connection to the body, just noticing, how are you today? It doesn't really matter if you are doing something, just adjusting a little bit of more focus to the breath and to your body in a way that feels safe. So if you're driving or if you're walking or if you're doing something around the house, just bringing a little bit of more awareness. You don't have to close your eyes. If you're sitting and relaxing, then you can close your eyes and start to relax the body a little bit deeper. Just noticing your breath without having to do anything, without having to change anything. Just being with what is in this moment, no matter how it looks. It's an important practice. Maybe you can feel if you could breathe in a way with a little bit less resistance. So if you have any kind of lock in your belly or in your throat, relax that. If there's some tension in your jaw, if there's a bigger breath that wants to come through, a yawn, if there's a stretch, if there's a movement, see how you can connect to a breath with a bit less resistance. Usually becomes more quiet, more still, comes slower, and you follow it. So there's a sensitivity that is needed. To have a breath with less or almost no resistance, you have to be there the whole time to keep opening. As the breath makes its way up the body or through the body, it's like you have to almost steward it. Like, okay, moving this, moving that, relaxing this, the breath is coming. Being a steward for the breath. Great. So as always, interacting with this time together exactly as you wish. If you want to close your eyes and just take it in, or if you're kind of doing something, then I'm just so happy to be with you. If you are live on this call, feel free to interact, to comment, to ask questions, and just know that you can join live sessions in the future as well, every third Tuesday at 12 o'clock Central European time. and you can kind of be in the live recording vibes. So, welcome to this episode. Sometimes I prepare things and know what I'm going to say. Other times it's, you know, most of my work is through presence, inspiration, and my own experience. So, presence meaning as long as I'm here with you and I'm nowhere else, that in itself is very powerful. And that's one of my biggest teachings, especially in my training program as well. Like being a facilitator, it's the power of your personal presence. It's not about what you know, it's not about what you do, it's about your presence. So I know that as long as I'm present with you all and in this call, I know something amazing is going to happen. Inspiration is this energy of, well, what am I inspired to talk about? What do I feel? There's co-creational inspiration to be within the breath. I trust that and I love that energy. And my own experience. So what have I been through lately? This is called the latest insight. So it is all about my latest insights. And I am somebody who teaches a lot through storytelling and my own personal experience. So it just works that way. So with these three things in mind, my presence, my inspiration, and my personal experience, this is what I'm coming with today. No notes, nothing, no agenda, but there's definitely a lot of things in the air and a lot that I want to share. And I feel like that's always the case whenever I have an in-person event, whenever I was guest teaching at Herdal Gjestegård at a silent retreat. And I have one session in this retreat. It's not my retreat, I'm a guest teacher. And I talk a little bit before, guide the session, and then lead an open sharing in the end. And sometimes I'm like itching. I'm like, there's so much I want to say. So that is what I'm coming with. I just got off the call with a Breathe Live integration call, and we ended in a very interesting place. We ended in something that I call an Elizabeth rabbit hole, where I start talking about something I've never talked about before, and it kind of goes into this whole thing. And those are always so fun, and my clients always love when I do that. So that was a good experience. So I'm coming with that energy now as well, of this kind of we opened a whole new conversation, and it was about evolution, playfulness, openness, spaciousness, and needs and desires and all of this stuff. So we'll see how that weaves in to today's call. I do want to backtrack a little bit and just share what's been going on. So from the last time we had the episode, I went to Copenhagen. I'm doing a training in trauma-informed body work, which is complementing the breath work so incredibly well. And with my new training coming up as well, it's starting next Monday, my breathwork program. If you want to become a breathwork facilitator and a space holder, my program could be the perfect fit for you. And what I'm learning right now about becoming more trauma-informed and becoming more in tune with the body and having a client-led practice is, one, I've been doing this since day one. I'm just getting more information and confirmation because this has been so intuitive for me. A lot of my work has been intuitive. I had a training when I was younger with a teacher with rebirthing breathwork. And then at some point the training ends and my career continued. This was a full-time thing for me. This is what I love to do. This is what I dedicate my almost past decade of my life to. And after the training, it became very intuitive. So it became very much, okay, what am I doing with this? Where am I taking this? And my style just became more and more gentle. It became more and more sensitive. It became more and more subtle. And before, I didn't say that I was trauma informed because I didn't have a training that officially made me trauma informed. But my approach has always been with values and principles of being trauma informed, where now I feel like it's on a new level because I have a training. And so I'm able to kind of really pinpoint what it means and how do we practice this in theory and as a professional in a very, like, I have words to put to it. I have more substance behind it. Where before it was just like a feeling, it was an intuitive, this is how I want to interact with people. I don't want to push a method onto people. I don't want to teach techniques. Techniques and methods are great, but I know something else is needed in the space. So for me, my practice is all about listening to the reality over a technique or a method. So I will never guide a method or technique before I tune in and feel the reality of the client, feel the reality of the space. And this is more intuitive space holding because it's like, well, if you're going to teach something, you're going to teach something. But the intuitive side is like, well, I'm going to feel something that needs to be addressed first. Or I feel that this could be helpful, not necessarily what I had in mind. So there's a beautiful thing that happens when intuition and professionality come together because you're able to use your instincts, you're able to meet the person and have empathy, and at the same time have skills and different methods that you can use with your clients. But having the two is so important for me because, like I said, I will never use a method over the intelligence of the reality of the body in the moment. But having both, being able to do both is so important. So my style has just become more and more solid, but it's always been rooted in these principles. It hasn't really changed, it's just become more solid. So it's very exciting what's happening right now behind the scenes. I feel as a professional, things are really solidifying, things are coming together. I think it was this summer, I made a post of like, what should my breathwork method be called? And I had so much response, and I feel like there's a lot of past clients, current clients, and just people in the community that are very curious what I'm going to name my method because yes, it comes from rebirthing breathwork, but like I said, after my training, it was just me innovating and developing my own way of doing this work and working with people in general and putting my unique essence into it. So I thought I landed on a name this spring. No, I guess it was even earlier that I think it was this spring that I was asking people. Time is going fast, yeah. And I thought I landed on a name, but then I realized that's not it. And I think I have one now, and I have not announced it publicly, and I'm not ready for it yet. So we'll see how that unfolds. But there's great things happening behind the scenes right now, especially with my Breathworker training program. I feel like it's a body of work that I've been developing over time, but I haven't opened to a group program in almost 2 years. So it's very exciting to feel the group coming together. We're starting on Monday, September 22nd with the opening call, and it's a 6-month online program with an in-person training retreat option this fall and next spring. So my idea is that the training is going to go twice a year, September to March or March to September. So you can choose if you want to start on the fall equinox or the spring equinox. And I'm going to have 2 retreats a year that you can also join. And past students can join retreats over and over and over again. So it's not just like one retreat you can go to. You can go to 2 retreats a year. You can go to 1 retreat a year. You could just join 1 retreat. So the idea is that the work is going to be an ongoing process for the students to continue and keep getting training. And this is really big for me because I haven't done this. I haven't really taught the program in 2 years. Like this is, it feels very big. It feels very important. And a lot has happened in 2 years. So if you worked with me years ago, I'm very different now. There's a lot that has changed. And at the same time, like I said, the essence is the same. So that's something that I think is very beautiful. It's like the essence is the same, but there's so much. It's like same, but different. I'm the same, but I'm completely different. So I think it's important with this, in this industry specifically, there's so much evolution and personal development happening with every facilitator. So as I develop, my work develops. And that's really what's been happening. So my training looks very different now than it did 4 years ago when I first started. And at the same time, the essence is the same, but there's so much new energetics. There's so much new practical things. Like I said, it just feels more solid, and it will just continue being like this. So it feels really good to be where I am right now. I know a lot of you have been following my journey for many years, and there's always ups and downs. There's always, for me at least, there has been ups and downs. There has been times where I lost all inspiration. There's times where I have been confused of like what my next step is. There's times where I've had to check my own energetics, like where am I coming from? Am I forcing this, or is this something that really wants to come through me? Do I think this is a good idea, or is it a should? Like there's been so many times in my career that I'm still facing with now. I think these are things we never, or I won't get rid of. They're just things that I get more and more discernment into, like what voices I listen to and what voices I don't listen to. And yeah, some moments are full circle moments. I talk about this a lot in my work. Like some moments you're going to have, like the ripple effect, things are always happening, things are always in motion. I really believe that. Like energy escrow, like things are always happening, whether you see it or not. But there's some phases in your life where you're going to feel like, oh, this is a full circle moment. But the circle, you were on the circle the whole time, but you just noticed the moment where the circle meets the starting point. But the circle was happening the whole time. So I feel like I'm having a full circle moment right now, and I know it's because of the circle that I've been making for the past years. And then there's smaller circles, there's bigger circles, and who knows, maybe it's a spiral and there is no there is no circle. But it's a nice feeling when integrations happen. And you know that in your life, in your own personal journey. I see it in my clients. It's like that clients can be so deep into process, overwhelmed, completely like, I don't know. And then the next week they're like, this is the best, things are moving, things are flowing. So it's like, how do we navigate that? How do we navigate the intensities of feeling overwhelmed, feeling completely full, and then the next week knowing that you're going to feel amazing, inspired, and spacious? And it can be very exhausting to oscillate between these two spaces all the time. So like one week you're down and the next week you're feeling great, and the next week you're down, the next week you're feeling great, or day to day or month to month or whatever it is. And it's a part of being human. I feel these ebbs and flows and the emotions and just different phases and things we have to go through, things that are given to us and things that we have to navigate in our lives that aren't easy. But I think it's very important to find a place within you. I'm just going to try to say this like in a simple way, but it's not that simple, but it is. Find a place within you that is, what's the word? Yeah, let me just say it as I'm really trying to feel it in the clarity. Like trying to, or be connected to a place within you that is stable. I don't know if that's the right word I want to use. There's nuances to everything, but it's like no matter the waves, no matter the up and downs, like I really believe that we all have a clear, stable place within us. Whether it's your soul or your spirit or just nothingness, like a kind of spaciousness within you that's beyond your personality, it's beyond your capabilities, it's beyond your perception, it's beyond your conditions. And if you can go there often, then the highs and the lows, they don't get you that much. So a big thing in my life with emotional intelligence, now I feel like I'm just jumping all over the place, but we're just going to go with it because there's a flow. A big thing with emotional intelligence, this is another huge body of work of mine, is Healing the Heart program. There's going to be, the next round is in November. It's still on pre-sale right now. It's going to be a 6-week course, so I'm extending it. And it's really a resource program, meaning giving you all the resources that, I mean, there's so many more that I don't know about, but all the resources that I have that worked for me in my life, to go from completely sabotaging, completely going up and down on this roller coaster, not feeling worthy, not feeling like I'm attracting safe relationships, not being able to communicate my boundaries, my needs, my desires, all these things. How I relate to my healing journey, this is all in my Healing the Heart program. And I created this program because it's really what I lived. I lived a life where I had great things happening for me, but then I would just sabotage them. Or I had great people around me, but I didn't believe that they loved me. Or there's so many emotional things that I noticed in my life that were holding me back because of my own internal stuff. And whenever I had a bad day or something wasn't happening in my favor, I would really take it out on everything. So if one thing in my life wasn't working, that meant I'm going to be in a bad mood with my partner. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to cancel my plans. I'm not going to show up for myself. Like everything else would burn down. I don't know if you can relate, but that's a classic sabotage. One thing goes bad, everything goes bad. Where it's like, it doesn't have to be like that. That's a very destructive behavior, very immature emotional behavior. And this is something that I had to like move through and learn. So now when something's not going my way, when something is not really working out, it doesn't disturb other parts of my life. Of course, there's nuances. If something really impacts me personally, is it going to impact maybe my creative flow in my business that day, that week, or that phase of my life? Yes. Is it going to make it that I burn things down? No. I used to do that. When something was really hard, I would burn everything down. Now, if something's hard, yeah, I feel it. And my business can feel it, or my work can feel it. It's like, okay, I'm going through some hard things right now. And I'm not able to completely like compartmentalize it and keep it over there. It's starting to influence other places of my life because that's how it works, and that's how I want it to be as well. I want all the parts of my life to be dynamic and not completely separate. But at the same time, different things in our lives also need different energies, I believe. So it's not like everything is muddled together, but everything is in relationship to each other, if that makes sense. So when you're able to find this stable place within you, it's a sort of safety, it's a sort of baseline, but your baseline can change. So it's not about like just getting the ultimate baseline, but it's a place within you that you feel like, okay, I don't really know exactly the answer to this right now. I don't really know. I'm not feeling good about this right now, but I'm not going to compound that and bring that into all other areas of my life. So I can have a really bad day. I can be overwhelmed. I can be anxious. I can be in doubt. I can really feel fear, but I can still have an incredible evening with my partner. So like these things can coexist, where before they couldn't. If I was in fear or anxious about something, I couldn't connect to my partner in a healthy way. I couldn't show up with my clients. There was like, it couldn't work. Where now it's like the duality, I can hold more of different emotions. And I think that's very important. So how did I start talking about all this? The emotional, the up and down part. Okay. Anyway, I forget how I started to talk about this, but we're talking about the up and down emotions and the phases where it's like when you're having integrations or aha moments or times in your life where like things are really coming together, these full circle moments, they feel really good. And then you'll have moments where it's not like that. But like, don't you want to feel good in those moments as well? Don't you want to like appreciate those moments as well? Because they are part of the circle. It's like the hero's journey type of thing. Like it is important to acknowledge the whole part. So when you're frustrated, when you don't really know what to do, when you're anxious, when there's fear, when there's doubt, I think it's so important to honor it, not to shame it, not to compound it, not to just want to put it under the carpet or kick it out the door. I think if you bring in honor, you're actually acknowledging the importance of that energy. I don't think any human can get rid of doubt in their life or fear. It's just something that is also can be healthy as well. Like it can go into discernment. It can, if you're doubting something, it's like, oh, maybe it's not a good match for me, or maybe this isn't good for me. It's a healthy thing to doubt sometimes. So if we can get a good relationship with doubt, at least then it won't control you, which I think is very important to realize, oh, it's there. Okay, what do I want to do with this? How do I feel about it? Let me give it space without making it mean all of these things. And then it will probably show up less and less, and it will show up only when it's needed. And then you'll know kind of what to do with the energy more because you know it more. You're not just kicking it out the window or putting it under the carpet every time it comes up. One thing I want to share with you all is the power of being in the unknown is it's so powerful. Okay, so that was not that enlightening of a sentence. The power of the unknown is powerful, you guys. But really, it sounds like a beautiful concept to be in the unknown. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm good with the unknown, or like, wow, like you understand it on a cognitive level that it's important because the world is full of of knowns and unknowns. Like there's things that you can control, there's things that you can't control. It's like everyone kind of knows that in a fundamental level. So there is we all have a connection with the unknown, whether it's conscious or subconscious. You have a connection with the unknown. But mostly the connection with the unknown is subconscious because a lot of us don't know or don't remember where we came from. A lot of us don't know where we're going to go after death. A lot of us don't know what other people are thinking. A lot of us don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like unknown is a big part of this world, but it's often an unconscious relationship because you're just like, well, I just don't know. It's just a part of it and I don't know. Instead of it being a conscious relationship of being like, I welcome the unknown and I'm going to interact with the unknown. I'm going to acknowledge it and actually, kind of create a stance or a relationship to it. So, how do we do that and why do we do that and why is this important? Because most process, healing work, transformation includes a stage of unknown. And when there is an unknown in us, a lot of the times doubt, anxious, or fear arises because clarity is great. Clarity is then we know, then we feel more confident, we feel more certain. Certainty is very important. But if you're always forcing certainty in your life, what's going on? If you're forcing certainty all the time, what's going on? It can quickly go into this need of control beyond what's maybe necessary. Because if the unknown is a part of life, we all know it, then if you're trying to know everything all the time, then you're disregarding a really big part of life. And you could say, yeah, I know, but the unknown is just, it's something that it's already happening. I don't really have to worry about it. But it's like, if it's such a big part of life, I think we need to get a relationship to it. We need to be able to not need to fix or change it, just like everything else. Everything else, we want to have this like non-reactive, non-attached, non-judgment approach to. But as soon as something's unknown, it's like, oh, we got to know what it is. We got to change it. We got to fix it. We got to move it. So if you can really rest in the unknown in your life, if you can go through a healing journey or a process or a doubt in your life and you're just like, I don't know the answer, and you can actually move through the rest of your day with that void. So for me, it actually feels like when I'm going through a process, when I'm going through something and I find it difficult. So there's a challenge, there's an unknown. And what I love is that, or what I notice is that it feels like an open vulnerability within me, like there's something open. The unknown for me is like a void, is an openness. And it's like, can I relax my urge to close it? But it feels amazing to close processes, right? Like to go full circle with things, it feels great, but not when you force it. So full circles are the best when they just happen naturally. They're byproducts. They're not things that you have to force. So when I have an unknown, what I've been practicing lately in my life is that I just let it be unknown. And I can walk and talk and guide myself and lead myself through the rest of my days with this unknown there. And I'm protecting it. And I'm not needing answers. I'm not needing people to help me. I'm not needing people to fix me. I'm not needing people to regulate me. It's just I am walking with an unknown. And it's so beautiful. I don't know if you can feel this or if something's happening in your body when you're listening to this, but like, I don't know what it is about humans that need to know everything. I think it's called to be pathologic. I'm pretty sure it's like when you need to know things, like when things need to have a name. But when you're able to hold an unknown, there's an openness and there's a vulnerability because it's kind of like I don't know. It's like, you don't know. The clearest person has the most power. It's like, maybe not. Maybe the person who is, you know, being able to hold all these different energies, the known and the unknown, has the most power. Because your need to know something can force something to happen that is not meant to happen. Your need to know something can shortcut an integration where it's like it was supposed to take a little bit more time. It was supposed to develop in another way, but you had to know. So you had to make a decision and you had to do the thing. And of course, we learn and we grow through contrast and clarity. Like it's all good. But it's just this new level that you can kind of reflect on a little bit to being like, do you need to know this right now? Can you let life figure it out? Can you let clarity be a byproduct and not something that you search for? And if you want clarity to be a byproduct, if you want life to be more of a byproduct, which I think that's kind of a big thing here with co-creation and inspiration and all of this innovation, it's about byproduct. It's about you're cultivating an energy and then something happens from that connection. So when we, when we are wanting something to happen all the time, you're not letting that innovation take place. You're not letting the byproduct, you're not co-creating, you are doing. It's like this needs to happen. So how is this landing with you all? It takes humbleness and courage to stay there. Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of like this, it's a softness for me. It feels soft. And courage is kind of like, yeah, it takes this strength to be like, don't relax the urge. And I think it also takes resource to do this as well, to be able to navigate and communicate in your life the open energy. So if someone's trying to get clarity from you, or there's a situation where it's like, I would love to know, and you're just like, I can't give you what you need because I don't know right now. And I'm okay with not knowing. And I'm going to focus on this instead. But it's like, oh, but I need the clarity. It's like, I understand that you need the clarity, but I can't give you that clarity right now. Can you be in the unknown with me? No, 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 I need to know. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to go to your side. I need to stay here. Do you want to join me in the unknown? Okay, so I wanted to bring that part in. I felt it very clear, and it's definitely been an insight for me in my own process lately and how I've been handling different things in my personal life and my professional life, where I'm just like, I don't have the answers right now. I don't know how this is going to look. I don't know how this is going to develop. I don't know what I really want in this situation yet. And I'm going to not force it. I'm going to be okay with not knowing. And I'm going to walk with confidence, with connection, with presence, and with this kind of open, not knowing thing. And let that be okay. And not make that mean that I'm weak and that I'm confused and I'm constantly in process, because it's not. It's actually not. Yes, there's a process going on, but it's not sucking energy from me. I'm confidently going around with an unknown. And that's fine. It doesn't mean that I'm like not resourced or not capable or not leadership or like whatever. It's actually very powerful. It's beautiful to hear and remember that all of it can coexist. Uncertainty in some areas and clarity in others. Don't compound and burn everything down. Yeah. Yes. Then you have more of a stable relationship with yourself and with your life. And I think that's very important, to be somebody who's not completely reactive and all this stuff. It's like, okay, good days, bad days, I can handle them all. I can have a bad thing happen in a good day. I can have a good thing happen in a bad day. Like, it all gets to coexist. I can know a lot and I can not know a lot, and that can coexist. So there's just so much that can coexist. And I think that's a really struggle that we're having in society right now, is coexisting. Like, how different things can coexist in the same room. It's very, very difficult for humans somehow. That it's like your beliefs contradict my beliefs and I have to persuade you to believe what I believe. It's like, well, why can't we both just believe what we believe and talk about it and still be able to connect? How come we can't coexist? Because it's so uncomfortable to not know. And if someone doesn't agree with what you believe, then yeah, maybe it's this feeling of, well, I don't know where they're at and they're not where I am, so I don't, yeah, so it's a whole thing. Okay. So I want to recap a little bit. What else have I been up to? I was in Stavanger. Did that happen from the latest insight? Yeah. I went to Stavanger. I had a 1-day event there. It was so incredible. I had two Breathworker students, like past trainer students, and it was so beautiful. They were both on each side. We didn't even plan that, but it was just a very beautiful moment to meet a student from the online program for the first time in person, and a student from one of my first classes that I did in 21. And we did a full day event. It was very insightful. The feedback was incredible. And I'm really noticing, like I was saying earlier, this more trauma-informed approach is so needed in this space, and people are responding so well to it. And unfortunately, and I've been writing about this a lot on my Facebook lately, is that every event I hold, basically my whole career, but definitely lately is becoming even more obvious, there's at least one or two people that come to me and say that they've had experience with a breath worker and it was not good. They had experience with breath work and it was not safe. And somehow they got the courage to come to my event. I don't know how, because that takes quite a lot of courage to rejoin a breathwork space after not having a good experience, and them rewiring in my space, them feeling safe in my space, them getting information, teachings, resources to be like, I can do this work now. Because I truly believe that people get inspired by breathwork because it's this working with the spirit of the breath. But then if they don't find the facilitator that matches with them and the approach that matches with them, they're like, oh, I really want to do breath work, but what the heck? Like, this is not my vibe. And then they find me, like a soul resonance, because I think that's very important in this work, is to find a facilitator with soul resonance. And they're like, okay, this is making sense. So that event was full of resources for connecting with others, connecting with yourself, understanding the principles of breath work, relaxation, awareness, and conscious breathing. And we had a session, we had, integration, conversations, Q&A. I definitely went down some rabbit holes. Like, it was a great time. Love you for doing your approach. Thank you so much. So yeah, we had a great time there. And then I had some one-on-one sessions, which were also very beautiful. So now my one-on-one sessions are, I'm still doing like 1 hour breath work one-on-one, but really the time is going longer and longer. So now my sessions are looking closer to 2 hours, 2.5 hours even, where there's a longer intake, where I'm really listening to what are your responses, what is going on for you, what is happening in your body, what do you need in this session. So there's a lot of time to connect and chat and to really tune into where you are, go through the session and really give yourself time afterwards to integrate and things like this. And also combining body work into the session more and more as well. So just really creating safety in the body, in the neck, in the head, in the shoulders, in the belly, in the legs, everything like this. So my one-on-one sessions are developing, and I am opening up to more clients as well, both online and in person. So I'm doing weekend Immersions in Gjøvik, where I live, where you can come and stay 2 nights with me and have 3 sessions plus like integration conversations and sauna and everything kind of included to really refuel you and get the one-on-one support, and online sessions as well. I have openings for a couple more on one-on-one clients. So that's just incredible work if you're feeling like you have specific things that you want to work with and be very directional towards you, like all focus on you and your process, where Breathe Live and Healing the Heart and my group in-person events is more about the group. Like you'll learn some things, but it's not going to be tailored to you. So it's very different. And my training program, of course, is if you want to become a facilitator. So it's not a personal therapy group, even though you will develop and learn so much personally, but it's about you becoming a facilitator. So it's a professional space. So what happened after that? I was in Hurdal doing a guest teaching on the silent retreat. Very beautiful. Again, another woman came up to me saying that they had been traumatized in breathwork and now she's understanding and feeling safe, and so many breakthroughs, so many perspective shifts. I'm just so grateful for this work. And like I said in the beginning, I feel like things are really solidifying. I'm really understanding and integrating how important this is and how layered it is and how simple it is. Like really with some professional framework, it is very simple. But again, it's nuanced and you need to be sensitive, you need to be aware, you need to be experienced, but it is quite simple. We need to move with the reality of the moment, not with the reality of your plan, not with the reality of the method, not with the reality of the technique, not with the reality of the projected agenda. Like, I want you to have this experience. Like, no, I don't know what I want. I don't want you to experience. Like, I don't have a plan. I want to serve the reality of the body, serve the reality of the breath to get it more full and deep and slow and safe. But other than that, and even if it doesn't go deep and slow and safe, I mean, safety is like the over umbrella arcing energy of everything. But I have a story. I'll end the podcast on a story. I had a one-on-one session last year, and the client was struggling with stomach breathing. So having not going into it. I think I just won't go into the client case study or like the information about it, but more the story that I want to share is that as a breath worker, you would think we want the client to breathe in the belly. Like, come on, breathe in the belly, like hand on the belly, let's breathe, let's do this, go breathe in the belly. Like you would think that that would be very important for a breathwork session. But this client could not breathe into her belly. It wasn't possible. It hasn't happened in years. And I knew that because she told me. I'm sitting with her for 2 hours. The breath is not going into the belly. And of course, in the beginning, I mean, I did put my hand on the belly because, that helps with guidance and awareness. Put my hand where you want to breathe. But usually at some point, the breath will go where the hand is. But it wasn't happening. And it was very clear to me to relax all agenda with this client. I said, I don't need you to breathe into your belly. Who am I to come here and say, you're going to breathe in your belly with me? You haven't done it in so many years, but with me, you're going to do it. Like, that's not my role. That's actually not any of my business in one way, what's happening within her. What's my business is, does she feel safe with me? And what can I do to create more safety? Not tell her what to do and tell her how the session should look, but like, what can I do in this moment? Energetically, so I didn't do so much. I sat next to her for 2 hours. But energetically, I dropped all agenda, which I do with all my clients. But this one was very specific to this story. Yeah, they breathe on top, not down at all. So I let go of all my ideas. I let go of her needing, I'm like, I don't need you to breathe in your belly. I didn't say that, or maybe I did, but that was my energy. I was like, I don't need anything from you. and just being with it. And there was moments where she was talking a little bit. There was moments where whatever. I was just letting everything be. And we're getting close to the end of the session. Put my hand on her belly, and she starts breathing into her belly. My hand starts to rise. And I feel like I'm witnessing a birth. I'm just like, oh my God, you're doing it. You're doing it. And she's like, I'm doing it. It's happening. And that was through 2 hours of dissolving any pressure of that needing to happen. And that is just a constant reminder for me in this work to follow the reality of the body and the safety of the client over any technique, any method, any idea of what it should look like. Life is a byproduct. So much is a byproduct. I don't know if I was talking about this here or on the integration call. I think here, yeah. So did I talk about byproduct here? Now I'm starting to drift all over the place, forgetting what I'm saying. And I really believe that a full breath is a byproduct of a safe breath. A engaged nervous system is a byproduct of a safe nervous system. Everything, a lot of what you want is a byproduct. So figuring out what is it a byproduct of, and cultivating that. And it's usually essence or principles of non-interference and acceptance, and like beautiful spiritual values of like acceptance, non-judgment, love, unconditioned, not needing anything. So what are some things coming up? Thursday this week, 22nd of September, I'm having a evening event in Oslo. There's still places left, so if you want to join that, I would love to see you if you're in the area. It's going to be a little teaching, a little exercise, a full session, and Q&A and integration afterwards. A 3-hour event. Come a little bit earlier so you're ready to land as soon as we start, or you can land before we start. And on Monday, I'm starting the autumn cohort, the fall cohort of my next online training program. So it's a 6-month experience, and it could be perfect if you're looking for deepening into space holding, if you are working with the body, if you're working with the mind and you want to bring in the breath, you want to bring in more trauma informed. You don't have to become a full-time breath worker, but these elements are going to really solidify you as a professional, and I'm really, really excited. So I'm getting together the workbook and doing a lot of things behind the scenes this week before we start next week. And there's a training retreat in November. So if you're a past Breathworker student, you're welcome to this retreat. And if you're a current student, you're welcome to this retreat. So it's an optional 4-day retreat with me where we train. You're going to get sessions, give sessions, and I'm going to be doing showcases, and you'll have a lot of time to train. I'll also be opening up for one-on-one sessions, just space for you as a professional to fill your own cup. Because I know how important it is as a professional to keep being in spaces where you learn and fill up your own inspiration and sharpen your own knife, because it's a craft. It's something that needs to be, in the energy of and developing and innovating and things like this. So that was my intention with the training retreat. It's open for current and past students to come and continue to develop and learn and be in the space with me. There's so much new things that I'm bringing now to the training. So I'm very, like I said, I'm just really looking forward to that. Other than that, it is the pre-sale for Healing the Heart. We are starting in the end of November. So that is happening. And it's really, that's the focus. Breathe Live, if you want to get in and do breathwork sessions with me and masterclasses and integration calls and meditations, like Breathe Live is the place for the daily personal, like tuning into my work. Perfect place to be. $99 a month. You can stay for 1 month. You can stay forever. And Healing the Heart is a resource program. Like you have a workbook and there's things that we go through, exercises, homework, a lot of teaching around emotional intelligence, and my Breathworker program. Thanks for being here. My Breathworker program for you that want to develop as a professional and hold sessions or become more trauma informed in the sessions that you're already doing and bringing in the breath a little bit more. So I am sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here for another episode. I love hearing your messages. I get a lot of messages from people saying that they love the podcast, they love listening in, and that just makes me very happy. So if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, thank you for being here. Feel free to do a little star rating or something like that to help it reach more people. Feel free to share the episode if you feel like there was things in this episode that resonated with you and that could help others. If you tag me, I will reshare it and I really appreciate it. So I will see you where we are next connected, whether it's an in-person event or my training or in Breathe Live or on another latest Insight podcast episode. Remember that you can join live as well. So all the links are in the show notes, and don't hold back to send me a message on social media or send me an email with any questions. So much love, and I will see you where we're next connected. Bye, everyone.